Joined now by Raptors Centre Jakob Poeltl. Jakob, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
You're going into your 10th season now, and you've seen many iterations of this Raptors team, right? You spent 4.5 with the Raptors. When you think about this unit right here, this core group, where would they rank in terms of chemistry and unity?
Whew. I might be right there, like at the top. I know we had a really close locker room, like back in the day when I got drafted here, but it felt like there was almost like the young group and then also like the older guys.
Yeah.
And it was not that we didn't get along, but it was like a little bit separate in a sense that like the young guys would spend a lot of time off the court. And I feel like now we have so many like team events where literally the whole team shows up, where we're all together. Like we just naturally growing into this like one unit basketball team, which is really cool to see. And I think even like just personally on like a one-on-one level, like everybody gets along really well. So yeah, that obviously really helps.
Now, you came into the league in 2016, right? And I introduced you as a center, but the center position has evolved or changed, however you like to put it, right? Mm-hmm. But you found a way to be one of the most efficient players, field goal percentage, leading the league in field goal percentage at the top year after year, right? How have you found a way to stay with the league, but also stay efficient?
I don't know. I feel like you always have to adapt a little bit, and yes, the league is changing, but there's always going to be niches for other little things like that maybe doesn't fit like the prototype, like modern player for a certain position. And I think I've tried to do that because yes, obviously like I've also worked on my shooting with like, that's kind of where the NBA is going, like everybody's shooting. But I just really never found that way for me. So yeah, I've tried to find other niches where how can I help my team more effectively, and how can I find my gaps in a defense now that's maybe more spread out, and be efficient that way. So yeah, I think I just always trusted my basketball instincts, and it's led me so far.
This team obviously has more talent with Brandon Ingram in the rotation, and a healthy Brandon Ingram at that. But what does that change for Jakob? Like, define Jakob's role on this team.
We just had practices so far, but I think with BI on the team now, I take on an even more supportive role, because we have so many guys, and especially in that starting unit, that can really score the ball, that can do a lot of things with the ball in their hand. I'm gonna try to like be more of a connecting piece than ever, really. There was times last year where I felt like I had to be more aggressive and like look for some scoring opportunities, and maybe that's not gonna be the case as much this year. But yeah, I think time will tell.
What exactly do you project for this team this year? And before, I think last year a lot of people took your statement out of context, where it went over their head, where you're not gonna try and win every game or sacrifice development. They didn't really understand that. But now we're a year later, and obviously core group has stayed together, second unit, those going to the sophomore year, developing well. Brandon Ingram in the mix, talented Scotty's grown. What is the agenda or the projection for this season?
I mean, I think for us, like we've kind of had this very clear like communication amongst like the players, and also with coaches and front office, that we want to attack now. Mm-hmm. Like this is our window now where we want to be aggressive. So we're gonna, like go out there and try to give it our all every game. Like, and obviously we still have a lot of young guys that want to develop, but if you want to be out there on the court, you're gonna have to like earn it, because there is a lot of guys on this roster that maybe deserve NBA minutes, and not everybody's gonna get them. So yeah, I'm hoping we can really make a push for the playoffs. Yep. Like I think we have what it takes. Obviously, it's a somewhat new group still, so yeah, nothing's going to be a given. But at some point, the breakout year is going to have to come. So why not this year? And yeah, I think we got to have that mentality.
And last year you were a big hub on the offensive side of the floor, right? And I want to look at a couple clips from last season, and getting into your split action. Motion offense has become almost like a buzz term across the NBA, but if you could break this down for us.
Like this is how we want to play, where we play fast. Like we want to be more aggressive. And I think I try to put myself in these positions where I'm either top of the key or like elbow area, to be a connector, especially when we're playing against defense, or if we don't have like a primary ball handler point guard out there, where I can like try and find some guys in some cuts, like initiate action with not just the pick and roll, but maybe a dribble handoff, like just trying to put the defense into different situations where they might make a mistake. And I think right here, like we look for it a couple times. Like first, I'm gonna look for this screen action, but Ocha is coming off and his guy's trailing pretty hard, so maybe I can get him on a backdoor cut. That's like my second read, but Pascal is doing a pretty good job of denying that. And then RJ is kind of like the next guy I look at, and his defender ends up falling asleep. RJ makes a good move, and then I can hit him on that cut, and we get him.
So are there triggers for these cuts, or guys just get into place?
I think no, you just got to read your defender. Like there's going to be some set plays where we're specifically looking for it, but for the most part, you got to read your defender. If you think he's overplaying you, we want you to go backdoor. If you think he's falling asleep and you can come off the screen and get a head there, then that's what we want you to do.
So this one's an interesting one, right? Because there's always this conversation of do the bigs have more responsibility defensively, or do the guards have more responsibility defensively, right? And I think you make a really good case here for the bigs. So just tell me, I want you to go through everything here and just tell me what we're defending, what you see.
Well, first of all, we have 1-5 pick and roll with a popping big and like 2 all-star players, which is already like a tough action to guard. And they actually like slip the second screens. But as soon as he gives it up, I'm going back to my guy, like obviously like shooter, so I'm trying to close out to his body. He ends up driving right away, so then I try to cut him off, like try to get myself back into play. And this is scramble mode, so I see an open guy in the corner, like I'm not guarding Cat anymore, like I'm just guarding this guy. So I try to make a closeout out there. And again, they get the rebound. Yeah, like this, I should have been in a better position there, but again, I try to recover.
Recovery.
Yeah, just never stop playing, I think is the teaching point of this clip. Like it's gonna be mess ups, there's gonna be situations where like they get an offensive rebound or like the coverage breaks down, like you just gotta keep going.
So do you see yourself as more of an anchor defensively? You showed your ability to get out on the perimeter to defend. With this group that you have this season, are you going to be more backline directing traffic, or do you see yourself out on the perimeter a bit more? Because you can move the puppies. We see that there.
I think preferably I would be in the paint. That's where we want me, like directing traffic. But there's going to be so many situations where you get cross-matched. Like I said, a coverage breaks down. And I think having the ability to, first of all, read it and then also like do it, to be out there and like switch on a guard. Or like maybe somebody ends up being open in the corner and I'm the closest guy. So I have to rotate out there. And I have to be able to close out to a guy that's probably faster than me, that can shoot the three and still contain that play to where then my 4 teammates can help us get a stop on that play. So I think it's important that you're not one-dimensional, even on defense nowadays. Like it's really a 5-man defense at all times where everybody has to be able to do everything.
So Bobby Webster a couple of days ago referred to Brandon Ingram as a hooper's hooper, and I think you and I both know those are the favorite guys to play with. You put the basketball in their hands and they can just figure it out. Right, this play here, we just want a guy that has this type of ability, right? How does he change the hierarchy of this team, the shot distribution, and even your role per se? It's tough.
That is tough. See, I wasn't expecting you to show me this. I was expecting me to see like a post fade over 3 guys, because that's what he's really known for it. No, he's tough. He's such a good, like he's honestly a 3-level scorer, like through and through. I don't know, like you're not getting anywhere. Like maybe the defense is playing well, like they're being super aggressive, and you can, instead of just having to like run a pick and roll at the end of the offense every time, there's also the option to just like get him the ball and he's gonna make something good happen for you. Like it might not be like a textbook basketball shot like you want nowadays where the ball moves and you get an open 3, but he's just gonna make a difficult shot. And having guys like that to bail you out, I think is really important. And then also just like the threat alone, even when we design a play for him, where we get him in an ISO situation, that he can take on 1, maybe even 2 guys, is a privilege to have in a team that maybe we didn't have, not to that extent last year.
And just lastly, give me an idea of, because you've been on the opposing teams that are coming to Scotiabank, coming to Toronto to play. How tough is it to play we have some of the best fans and obviously some pretty good nightlife and great restaurants. But for opposing teams coming in, how tough is it to play in Toronto?
I think it is really tough. For me, honestly, like every time I came back, it was more of I don't know, it was always a good experience for me. Like I never really had that feeling of like, oh, this is a grind out here to come here and play because like I've always had that part of my history, like even when I came back with the Spurs. So I can't speak from a personal experience,
right.
But yeah, I think it's
teammates.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
No, it's definitely a tough place to play in because Toronto fans are so passionate. Like not just for the Raptors, but the whole sports culture out here is wild.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.